Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals for the AFC Northerners. First and foremost, I would like to say that I want to thank Five Line. I just got back from Five Line Tavern in Eagle Rock. That's where the Bengals West crowd meets. If you're a Bengals fan and you want, and especially if you're here in Southern California, check out Bengals West. It's at Bengals West on Twitter, and Bengals West also has a Facebook page, so you can like that page. And they use Meetup for scheduling stuff, but definitely get hooked up with them, especially if you're in the Southern California area. So I was hanging with them, and I want to give them a shout out and thanks for. It's always great to hang with those guys, and even as somber as most of the games are there, it's still nice hanging with those guys. So thank you guys. You know, I said in a video, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I talked about how we're probably going to play just well enough to where Marvin's not going to be fired. We're going to make this a relevant game, and then the Bengals, in typical fashion, will rip out your heart and step on it right in front of you, and that's pretty much exactly what they did. And I hate being right. You know, I could get up here and blame the officials, who did suck. They made a bunch of horrific calls. Geno Atkins roughing, barely. He pulls up and barely touches Ben in the back. It cost him 15 yards. And it kept the drive going. It gift-wrapped a touchdown for him. Or I could talk about the piece of shit that Schuster Smith is. You know, I'm a USC fan, and I want to just scrub my memory of ever seeing that piece of shit play for the Trojans. Fight on, boys, by the way, in the Cotton Bowl. But piece of shit. I know the league won't do anything because we don't matter to them. We're not one of their darlings. But maybe he'll do something in a couple weeks to somebody you do care about, like on the Patriots, and then the league will do something. But just what a waste of human capital. A piece of shit, Schuster Smith. So fuck you, Schuster Smith. But once again, what I am going to blame is we've lost the game at halftime. I mean, this is a poorly coached team. This is a highly undisciplined team. I mean, look at how they ended the second half. We go up 17-0. We got 21 seconds. The Steelers are inside their own 20 with 21 seconds. And we go to sleep and gift wrap a field goal for them before half. I mean, what kind of momentum is that to carry into the locker room? Then we get the ball to come out in the second half, and what's our response? We go 3 and out. I mean, that's a poorly coached team. And Marvin, once again, great coaching in the first half, great scheme, everything, makes no adjustments, comes on out, and we score 3 points. I did see a lot of passes on first down, which I like, and Dalton played a really good game, and he was trying, but we had drop balls by LaFell, we had drop balls by A.J. Green. It's an undisciplined unit, and I talk a lot. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I talk a lot about situational football. On those third downs, you got to move the chains, and we didn't do it. So it's a 16-minute game, guys. You can't spike the ball and do a dance at halftime. I don't know what Marvin says in the locker room at half, but whatever it is, it's not working. It's time for Marvin to go. You know, this team is so hard to watch, and they just don't make plays when they need to. And that's why our season's over. This was a playoff game. And our season's over. So, you know, another thing, watching the end of the game, watching Marvin not calling timeouts and saving any time, it's like he was just giving up. Well, I thought, you know, you've given up on this team a long time ago. So why not just step down tomorrow? I know you won't do that, but it sure would be nice for the fan base. That would be a ray of light if you were gone in the morning like Bob McAdoo was gone today. From the Giants. So, but it won't happen because it makes sense. So that's why it won't happen. And I would like to say this is going to be one of the most coveted coaching jobs that's going to be available out there. The cupboard is stocked with great young talent. This team just needs an attitude. It needs leadership. It needs coaching, and it's not getting it. And so this is the perfect time for a coach to come in and win Coach of the Year. I mean, he's going to take a team that's roster is just loaded, and he could turn this team around and make him a playoff team next year, the right guy. So we've got that to look forward to. I don't know. I guess I'll be doing mostly individual updates throughout the rest of the year. I mean, we're entering a string of games that are meaningless. I'd like to see some of our younger players, get time, especially John Ross. He was a healthy scratch today, and he wasn't in. So I don't know what this coaching staff is thinking. They're lame ducks, so they're maybe just, cashing checks. I would like their key cards to stop working tomorrow morning. But with that said, this is going to be a great coaching spot for somebody. But I would love to see the young guys get some playing time. Don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be a useful, a good use of the 4 games remaining. So we'll have to see what happens. I'll be doing individual shows as long as you guys are watching them and commenting on them. So I'll do a weekly update and maybe a post game, like I've done throughout the season. And as long as you guys are, interacting and I see I've got the views, I'll keep them going. If not, we'll be back for a combine show at the end of the year, or at the end after the Super Bowl. So shout out to Rocco's, 5 locations. Great place to take in a game. They've got one right near UCLA on Gailey. They've got one near USC, Old Town Pasadena, Culver City, Studio City. So if you need a sports bar or a place to take in a game, absolutely go to Rocco's Tavern. Big shout out to Ace Boogie. I know he's hurting. I just spoke to him. He does New Stripe City, does a great show. Check that out. And also to Daddy-O from Cincinnati, a D&H Sports. Check them out. He does a good Bengals show as well. And you can find all these guys on YouTube and Twitter. So with that, I will sign out as I will, as long as Marvin is still our head coach, with fuck Marvin Lewis, and go fuck yourself, you piece of shit, Juju Smith. Fuck you, fuck Marvin Lewis. Bye, everybody.